Hello, my name is Catherine Borshuk, and I'm a board member at Global Survivors for Peace. I'm honored to have been asked to share my thoughts during this period of remembrance, Kwibuka 27. To my mind, it is absolutely imperative that the world remembers what happened 27 years ago in Rwanda, when a concentrated political effort led to the slaughter of so many Tutsi people. How can we forget? I recall cooking dinner for my family one evening in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and listening to a CBC radio interview. It was on April 7th, 1994, the day after the president of Rwanda's plane had been shot down. And the person being interviewed on the radio was Canadian Lieutenant General Romeo Dallaire, head of the UN peacekeeping forces in Rwanda at the time. He said, "All hell has broken loose here." He said, "Militias have gone on a rampage and are killing, destroying, massacring, and mutilating the Tutsi." He said, "The world needs to wake up." I immediately went to my World Atlas to locate Rwanda and began learning all I could about the situation and the people involved. And I started to speak with my friends and family about the emergency unfolding in a very different part of my world. Many of us in North America, across Africa, throughout the entire world, stayed glued that spring to the ongoing horror, feeling impotent to stop it. Now, the greater problem, of course, is that far more people paid no attention at all, and to this day are still not aware that upwards of 800,000 people were killed in just 100 days by their neighbors, co-workers, and community members, using traditional tools and weapons and leaving their raped and mutilated bodies lying in the roads and the fields and the courtyards of towns, cities, and villages. Now, at the time, most of us watching throughout the world did not know the particular history of Tutsi and Hutu. We did not know that the political and ideological roots of that genocide had been laid long ago. We were not even aware that Lieutenant General Dallaire had sent a cable to the United Nations months earlier warning about the gathering violence and asking for more troops, protection, and intervention. We certainly could not imagine how many would die. I felt at that time, just as a citizen of the world, as someone who had been educated about the European Holocaust during World War II, that I had a responsibility to know, to learn, to find out about the genocide in Rwanda. And today, I believe we all have a responsibility, not only to remember, but to learn more about both the causes and the effects of genocide, and to educate ourselves and others about this particular history. By doing this, it helps us to unite with our brothers and sisters who lived through this tragedy. And this is important because not only will there be those who seek to deny or detract from what really happened, but it's also important because many of the Rwandan survivors now in America and all over the world are our neighbors, friends, and co-workers, and we cannot overlook the tragedy that they endured. Let's not forget what needs our attention here today, 2021. We know that survivors, once they made it to safety, need to heal themselves. They need to mourn their dead. But like all of us, survivors must get on with the business of life. To our great admiration, many of the Rwandan genocide survivors have migrated to safety, acclimated to new lands, and gotten busy rebuilding their lives and their families, contributing to new communities, establishing new ties, and reconnecting with the past. However, the traumas of the past genocide do not stay easily in the past. For many survivors, it is experienced on a daily or a nightly basis. It is so difficult for the human soul to let go of what it has seen and what it has endured. People may speak so blithely of closure or healing, but in reality, those who have watched their families be butchered in a genocide, who have lost their families, their children, who have endured mutilation, physical harm, psychological and emotional harm, will have a difficult time completely closing the past off behind them or healing from their scars. Feeling the painful memories, it's a natural process. It is necessary, but it is difficult. We're now more than a quarter century past that tragedy. There's a new generation of Rwandans still in country and throughout the diaspora, and they too are survivors, those who were born after or through the genocide. And we know that generational trauma affects them as well, these children of the Rwandan genocide, who are now teens and young adults. They too feel the pain and the scars of their parents and their grandparents, the siblings they didn't get to know, the homeland and communities they may feel separated from. It's not only the immediate survivors who continue to need our support. These young people too need attention. They may feel identity. These young people too need our attention, as they may feel identity confusion and experience stress or depression. They may not want to burden their elders with their concerns. They may need their own type of support. This is why I'm proud to be part of the local nonprofit organization Global Survivors for Peace, a survivor-focused effort which provides financial and other types of support to the Rwandan community in our local area. The group is dedicated not only to public education and to raising awareness of the Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi, we also invest in the mental health and education of Rwandan survivors and their families, with an especial focus on the youth. All those years ago, as I listened helplessly to that interview that alerted me and so many others to the catastrophe befalling the Tutsi in a far-off place called Rwanda, I wished I could do something to help. Well, today, I come together with my friends and my neighbors to support the survivors of that unthinkable tragedy, and I hope you will join with us too. Thank you.